College football is back and better. The glitz, the glamour, and the enamor of the big crowd and the big university. For a lot of people, their dream and their goal is to join the big time program and hopes of becoming a national champion and having all eyes on them. The antics, the crowd, the brightness of the lights, Saturday night, it's nothing like it. But for others, maybe you want to go to a smaller university, rebuild a lower tier program, and make them rise to the top. Gain national recognition from the bottom up. Become the star, the big fish, in a small pond. But no matter which decision you choose, it's about being the best in your role. And for me, I was torn. I didn't know where I wanted to go. Before I could make my decision, certainly why you know who I am. My name is Nathaniel, left-handed quarterback from Tennessee. And one thing I pride myself on is being a dual threat and being able to be quick on my feet, no pun intended. And it was time for me to answer some questions about what my decision would be. And I want to compete for a national title, but I also want to see the field as soon as I step on campus. It's a lot to ask for. When it's time to make my decision, I looked through all the offers on my table. The big time schools wanted me to be a backup, while the small schools said I could start right away. But I decided I wanted to commit to one school in particular who would give me the keys right away. See, it's a small school in the middle of Oklahoma called Langston University, an HBCU. And what was a shock to the nation, I gave them my commitment to turn their football program around. And they looked to me to be the leader of the future. But see, not just the future of this football program, but of HBCUs in general. After the Pac-12 disassembled, the FBS decided to bring up HBCUs and create their own conference. So all the rivalries between all the HBCUs will be on the big stage. Not to mention, we'll be going against some of the best players in the world finally. So for me, when I stepped on campus, I had one goal in mind. To be the captain of this football team and bring us to big heights. At the end of the day, I'm just a freshman. With the big expectations on my shoulders, I can't fumble the ball, throw it away. I'm looking to be the dual threat quarterback I was in high school. For my teammates, well, I got Quincy Hines III as my tight end. He's a senior. He's ready to end his football career on a high note. And that's where I step in and help the big fella out who can catch and block. On the outside, we got our other captain, Greg Wallace. See, Greg was at Tennessee before he transferred to Langston due to academic issues, and now he's looking to recover his career. And I'm looking to him to lead this receiving corps, who also has Evan Price, a freshman. I'm going to be looking to my classmate to catch the tough balls over the middle. Speaking of tough balls, we got the Hawaiian hands himself, King Poa. Between those three, Quincy Hines, the receiving corps should be set. But at the running back position, it gets a little shaky. Teray Fisher is our freshman running back from Southwest Texas who's looking to prove himself as well. Between all of us, it's going to take all hands on deck. Look, everybody else on this team may be used to playing lower competition, but now we're in the big leagues. So it's going to take everybody's effort, concentration, and attention to detail. Sounds easier than it is, right? And it all starts with me. And it all starts in week 1. We got our schedules in. You will never believe who we have to face off with to start my collegiate career. Only thing I can say, it was bound to happen sooner or later. I mean, you could feel the energy through the screen. My first game was in Norman, Oklahoma against the Oklahoma Sooners. The crowd is electric. The Sooners agreed to play us to break us into the FBS. What a way to start my career off, right? But me and the guys, we had to keep our heads up, not look across the field, really focus on us and not get intimidated. And on opening possession, all eyes are on me on the big stage. The coaching staff wanted us to establish the run game early. That didn't work. So I decided to pass it on the second down from 12, completed the pass, the unthinkable happened. Not only was the fumble forced, but my man's Woody Washington took it back to the end zone, and what was already a 7-0 lead turned to 14-0. I mean, seriously, I threw a dot, but did I line my receiver up and leave him in harm's way? I feel like that's not my decision to make right now, but my call. Bottom line is, fumble was had, and we're now by double-digit scores. So on the next possession, I had to keep my head up and and try to deliver pinpoint passes. Against this defense, I had a struggle. Offensive line had their hands full and they had me running out the pocket, scrambling for dear life. On this 3rd and 7, I tried to make a across the field pass to absolutely nobody. But thankfully our defense got us the ball right back on a good field position. Just like that, didn't matter. But on 3rd and 16, I got lit up like a Christmas tree. Deja vu. I mean, I'm absolutely getting battered and hammered, and we're only in the 1st quarter. Oklahoma having a 21-0 lead. We're still at the end of the 1st quarter, and on the 2nd and 2, I finally make another completion. When we're trying to gain momentum, I feel the defense bearing down on my offensive lineman, so I launch up a prayer to Evan Price, thinking there's no way he comes down with this football, right? Freshman to freshman connection. I find my boy Evan Price off a lob desperation heave throw, and he comes down with the most amazing catch I've ever seen. And just like that, we in prime field position. While I took a bad hit, I brushed myself off and got right back on up. My man's Evan made a spectacular catch. Now I'm trotting down the field looking to put my team in the end zone. But if it was up to our running game, we'd get nowhere as they get absolutely lit up on 2nd down. And after a false start, it's now 3rd and 18. Quarterback's dream, clean pocket, time to throw. So I throw a laser to the end zone, and my guy Josh Bishop, the sophomore slot receiver, comes down with the touchdown grab after I throw an absolute dart to the end zone. Clean pocket, clean vision, time to execute. And for my first official points in college, I throw a dart against Oklahoma. Now we're down 21-7, of course. But hey, I'm just the HBCU quarterback. Freshman at that. I'll drive back to the sideline like I've been here before, knowing good and well I haven't. Next time we got the football, we were down 24-7, and I'm feeling myself now. Look, a comeback will be monumental, but in order for that to happen, I have to go play by play. And on this play, I rushed the throw and made a bad decision. And on 2nd and 10, I had a lane to escape, but I chose not to and took a sack. And that's the one thing I haven't done yet in this game is use my legs. But right here, I use my eyes on 3rd down to complete the pass over the middle to Josh Bishop. Look, quiet as it's kept, I'm actually having a solid game, but I couldn't help myself from getting hit. I wasn't escaping the pocket like I usually do, at least usually in practice, until right here I finally decided to step up and get out the pocket, get a 1st down, and I took a big hit along the way. If I was going to be getting out the pocket and scrambling, I got to learn how to slide. You know, in high school, I'm used to juking out defenders, but on this level, I got to learn how to protect myself, which is exactly what I didn't do right here as I opened up for a throw and took a big hit, and the drive ended in a field goal. Now we're down 24-10 at the end of the 2nd quarter. I escaped the pocket once again, and while I'm thinking I'm about to slide, I dive for the 1st down, making an extra effort. Too bad it was only 2nd inches, and once again, I see a big old hole, so I run straight through it. Escape the pocket, pick up the 1st down, and forget to slide again. As you guys can see, man, I'm taking hit after hit after hit, and I can't even blame the offensive line entirely. I'm just not getting out of the pocket in time. I got to learn how to maneuver my feet and my eyes at the same time. To make matters worse, I end up taking a big hit and throwing the pick over the middle to guess who? Woody Washington once again gets a pick 6, making that 2 touchdowns on the day, a fumble recovery, and now a pick 6. And things just went from worse to tumultuous. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a word worse than worse, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I knew it was gonna be an uphill climb, but this lead is looking like a mountain. We're down 38-10 now in the 3rd quarter, and a lot of football left. So I had to keep my head up and start delivering darts across the field again. I found my man's cutting across the middle. Once again, I'm escaping the pocket. Can I actually slide this time? Ladies and gentlemen, I did not slide, and I got gang tackled. I'm talking about, it looked like I was getting initiated. Everybody converged on me over the middle. And while I picked up a huge gain, at what cost? My body's been taking hits after hits after hits all afternoon, and I knew it was gonna catch up to me at some point, but I'm a trooper. So the first game of the season, I'm sticking through it and battling. And right here, I throw a pinpoint accurate pass for the end zone touchdown to my other freshman, Evan Price. Make that 2 on the day. And I understand we're down 38-17, but at the same time, this is a big step for our program. Hey, who's to say we can't come back? It's the 3rd quarter still. We're down 41-17, and I'm escaping the pocket trying to outrun this DN, and I get absolutely destroyed. And my body is deteriorating as we speak as I nearly avoid a safety. And at this point, bro, I think I'll start to see stars. I'm about to be getting dizzy on the Oklahoma field, bro. At the same time, I had to get right on up, because if it's not me, then who? After nearly escaping concussion, I nearly get my receiver concussion throwing a hospital ball across the middle. And at this point, bro, they might have a bounty on our heads, man. Oklahoma was going #1 on the charts. I'm talking about hit after hit after hit. But despite all the bruising, I still found my receiver over the middle to get us some positive yards at the end of the third quarter. While OU fans are just out there celebrating, having a good time, I decided to stay focused and think about the future. Look, we about to get into HBCU conference play soon, and nobody on this level. So in the fourth quarter, I took my time and delivered a strike over the middle of the field to my receiver. And while I thought I had momentum going, I threw at yet another hospital ball. And at this rate, we're not going to have enough players healthy for week 2, man. Our offense is getting depleted, and our offensive line is doing no favors. But I decided to finally escape the pocket again, and can I actually slide? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a hit fetish. I am allergic to sliding. I literally get gang tackled once again after making a dumb decision not to go down before the contact, and I suffer the consequences. But still and so, find a way to stand tall in the fourth quarter, and I throw a strike over the middle to move us closer to the end zone. We're down 41-17. I found my mans for a touchdown. Quincy Hines III, the senior. While we didn't have the greatest of games, my boy got to score the University of Oklahoma's field as a senior. I know that's a moment he won't forget. And as for me, it's my 3rd touchdown on the day. And while we're down big time, I'm just looking towards the future. Big moments for me in my career. Shoot, I was a backup somewhere right now on a big time program. But right now, I'm on a smaller school that has big faith in me. In the fourth quarter, down 41-23, I'm actually sliding when I escape the pocket for the first time all game. What a beautiful sight for sore eyes, huh? Right here, I make another slide to avoid a big hit. And as I'm already banged up and bruised and battered, still find time to step up in the pocket, deliver a strike, and once again, the defense strikes my receiver and forces a fumble. We have a lot to clean up, including this terrible passing decision I made to throw it over the top, throwing an interception in the fourth quarter, and just as we had a little bit of momentum, gone. The crowd erupted once again as I threw another pick 6, making that 2 in the afternoon. And despite the score, I still had humility for myself. So I slid, escaped the pocket, and was smart with the football. But I'm battered, and my chest is almost caved in after one game. Safe to say I have to be smarter with the football in my hands. It's also safe to say that Langston University has a lot of work to do before we mention with the top teams in the FBS. And as for today, Oklahoma got their turn in. 55-23 was the final score. And while nobody probably expected us to score 23, we had to use this as momentum going forward. And look, despite some terrible decisions I made with the football, I finished the game 13-34 for 241 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. In my opinion, against an elite team, it's not that bad. I just got to clean up my game and get ready for this HBCU competition. As far as the rest of the team, well, as the quarterback, I got to do a better job finding my receivers and getting everybody involved. And there were some highlights and some high moments in this game. Whether it was a big time throw and catch between me, my other freshman Evan Price, or whether it was just completing smart and timely decisions with the football, moving my team down the field and putting us in scoring position. There's definitely a lot of things I could take as a high note. On the flip side, my inability and instability in the pocket led me to get collapsed on and fired on by the Oklahoma's defense, leaving me bruised and questionable, honestly. My trainers are going to have a field day trying to get me ready for week 2. And week 1 is in the books. And while Oklahoma may be the hardest competition we have to face this season, our next competition isn't to be taken lightly, as it's the Grambling State Tigers, our in-conference rival. Our first home game and the first game up on the HBCU gauntlet. Our first game in HBCU conference play pits us against the Grambling State Tigers. This is a team that can't be taken lightly. For example, they got Grant Kyatt and Taylor Cross at cornerback positions. And between those two, they're looking to shut our receivers down. Based on last game, that might not be that hard. And on the back end, they also got Tom Coleman at safety. He's looking to float around and give me issues along with his safety mate, Killian James. Between those two and the DBs, our receivers are going to have a long day ahead of them. Who else is going to have a long day is our offensive line. Good luck trying to block big number 30 and gold. And for me, I decided to keep my head on straight and start this game methodically. So I found my tight end Quincy Hines III over the middle for the first down early on. I feel like we got some good momentum going. We finally at home, it's a little rain. That's not going to stop me from trying to get the ball out of my hands quick. And on this first possession, I'm already 2 for 2. Now make that 3 for 3. So I find Quincy Hines again. And trying to go 4 for 4, I see my man's cutting across the middle of the field. And between me and Quincy, we had our Langston Lions team floating down the field. See, I told Quincy I was going to make up for not getting him as involved last week early on. I did just that. Although being perfect from the field, the coaching staff wanted to try to run the football in the end zone, and that didn't work. So they put the ball back in my hands, and I make a smart decision, finding my best receiver, Greg Wallace, in the end zone for the tutty. And Greg is somebody else who I didn't really get involved much last week. I mean, we were facing the number 14 Oklahoma, so it's given. But at the same time, Greg transferred here from Tennessee. I don't want him to transfer back, so I wanted to make his time worthwhile and get his stats up. I guess it starts now. And as for me, I just went 5 of 5 for the touchdown in my first possession at home for Langston. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to be here long term, to be honest with y'all. But for the time being, I'm looking to make my mark. Speaking of making our mark, on the second possession, after our defense got a stop on Grambling, we marching right back down the field, and I still haven't missed a throw. I'm just floating, and our offensive line is giving us good protection. Speaking of which, allowing our running back Taylor Fisher to get the first down. And as we continue to march right downfield, I'm making smart decisions with the football in my hand. So much so that I'm already 8 for 8 with 107 yards and a touchdown. I'm rolling. And at this rate, I'm completely outplaying Grambling State's quarterback. With the ball near the goal line, we decide to hand it off once again, and it doesn't work. Almost like deja vu, I throw a pass over the middle, and it gets intercepted by Grambling State's safety for my first incompletion of the game. After having a perfect start, I just make a lazy and quite frankly bad pass over the middle, and it cost our team a touchdown and some early momentum. Now thankfully our defense was on time today, so they didn't even give up a score. But I had to get that momentum right back that I lost with that interception. So I decided to keep it simple and find my receivers for short intermediate routes to move up the field calmly collectively. And if I didn't have it on the run game option, I'll find Quincy in the open field and let him do the rest of the work. And on 3rd and 1, I had to keep it simple once again. Find my running back in the backfield, and yet we didn't even convert. So on 4th and inches, I let Taray Fisher do the work to get us the first down. And at this point, we got a 7-point lead in the second quarter with time winding down on the clock. And I haven't even scrambled yet, so I decided to take it out the pocket, and I still did not slide. But right here on 1st and 10 near the goal line, I throw a lob up to my boy Quincy Hines III, and he comes down with a touchdown. I'm gonna be honest, I barely even saw my boy down there at the end of the end zone, but I floated up anyway because I thought he was a big body, he can go get it. But I'm still impressed nonetheless. This man Quincy snagged it out the air, now put us up 14-0. And as halftime approaches, I had to think to myself, like, there's no reason that we can't be the best HBCU team in the land. Right before halftime, I decided to scramble once again, and forgetting to slide, I get gang tackled once again, taking bruises and battering. And in the last play before halftime, I got greedy and got humbled quick. And despite the monster first half from Quincy Hines III, Grambling State still found their way back in this ball game, making it 14-10. So with the ball in the 3rd quarter, we tried to get our momentum right back, but our run game was a little atrocious. So I decided to stick to my safety valve and Quincy Hines, who gives us first down. But right here on this play, I noticed the safety and the DB had a miscommunication slightly, but that ever so slight miscommunication leads to my freshman Evan Price blowing right past the safety who came to help, and I lob it over the top perfectly for the touchdown. When I saw the breakdown in the defense, my eyes lit up. My guy Evan isn't the greatest route runner, but one thing he can do is fly, and I knew if I put the ball over the top, it would be 6. Just right before the play, I noticed Grant Kite sprint away from Evan, leaving Evan with the safety one-on-one, and the safety came over late, and it was curtains after that. And for the first time in my young college career, I got a lead in the 3rd quarter heading into the 4th. Up 21-10, I gotta protect myself, which is exactly what I can't do, as my offensive line just lets me get blown up way in the backfield, absolutely killing our momentum. Grambling State was able to capitalize and make it a 16-21 ball game in the 4th quarter. So all I had to make sure I did was keep my composure, make smart decisions with the football, and keep it simple. But this team wasn't used to being in this position, so it seemed like the offensive line, including myself, was a little shook, leading to me getting tackled and sacked in the backfield. And on 3rd and 19, I took an unnecessary risk and got picked off for it. Fans were flustered, including me. I thought I had an opening, but number 9 Grant Kite had other plans. As much as I want to give credit to him, it was really the safety number 25 that made the incredible play. And as for me, I went from marching down the field to marching to make a tackle. Grambling State was scored to make the game now 22-21 in their favor. With the ball in our hands, we got a chance to put the game away, hopefully if we milk the clock and get a good field goal position. So I decided to take it in hands and myself I spin off, but once again forgetting to slide, leading me to get another hit. But as we continue to march down the field, time continues to click off the clock. And Grambling State has to burn their timeouts because we're using the clock wisely. So only one timeout left. We just continue to let the clock drain as much as possible. And everything was going status quo. And as I was going for a block, I felt something in my knee pop. At that moment, it's like the whole football field went silent as I collapsed to the ground. And I had to get carried off, and the fans were left scratching their heads in anguish, not knowing what they just saw. On a routine play, I get hurt without contact. But not fearing for the worst, I just head straight to the sidelines and watch my backup quarterback Jake Bauer step in for us. And after we kicked the field goal, Grambling would end up coming right back down the field and scoring another touchdown, making it now 29-24 with about 20 seconds left for Jake to pull off a miracle. On the first down, he almost threw it right away. And everybody in the arena was clutching their pearls, including me, as I'm on the sideline holding my knee. And on second down, he decided to take a big risk. And it didn't work. Now it's third down. With 7 seconds left, he throws a dart that almost gets intercepted. And now the ball is in his hands with 2 seconds left. And all everybody could think about was how we almost had this game straight up. But I got hurt. But now we're relying on our backup quarterback to save the day. A kid that's never even seen the field in his college career. Last play of the game, Jake steps back and lets it go. Thank you for watching this video, and I want you to be a part of any series I do on my channel, so make sure you go join the Discord link in the description box, fill out a template, submit the player for any series you want so you can be featured on my videos.